Hey guys, how's everybody doing? I hope happy and well and safe and healthy. If you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Christina. I am a little bit crazy, but I live in Mexico and I cross to go to work. And while I drive and sit in line, I like to make videos for you guys and have conversations about daily life, things going on in the world, my own personal life and stories. So make sure you subscribe. I don't know which side it's on. It's on down there. You see the little red subscribe button, right? Of course you do. Definitely give this video a like. Boom. And for those of you who are returning, I love you guys. Hi. So this video is gonna be about marriage, but it's gonna be like infidelity, cheating, kind of. I know I did a video about women who date married men, and in that video I made it very clear that I do not think it is okay for anybody who is married to step out of the relationship. Okay? A good friend of mine talked to me, and this isn't the first time I've heard this, okay? I've had multiple men come to me and tell me, not come to me like, hey, but like open up to me and let me know like things that are going on in their marriage. And it was the same story for both of these guys. And like I said, I've heard this multiple times. So it's not just them. I know it's something that happens. But basically their wives are not there. They want to be left alone. They don't want to have sex. They don't want to be romantic. They don't want to have that time together. You know what I mean? That bonding, that intimacy. And when I say intimacy, I don't just mean sex. I just mean, spending quality time with each other, reconnecting and keeping the spark alive and, all things that married people should do. I'm not saying marriage is all about sex. I'm not saying that. However, I personally feel like sex is very important in a relationship. And, if something else is going on that's preventing you guys from having sex, that's one thing. Her libido's down, your libido's down, somebody's having issues somewhere, but those are things that I feel like you guys should both, work on, because there's hormones, there's medications that, both parties can take in order to help, your libido, your wants, your drive, your sex drive. So if you're just not doing anything about it, it kind of makes me feel like it's not important to you, which means your marriage isn't important to you. Or I think a lot of women, especially if they've been with their husbands for long periods of time, might kind of start taking advantage, and they're like, well, they're not going to leave me now. We've been together for over 20 years, whatever. When in all reality, I mean, it's not fair. Just because you've been married for over 20 years doesn't mean you give up and you let everything go. If anything, that's when you need to, put in the most work, put in the most effort to make sure that you guys are keeping that spark and keeping that intimacy between you two. Because otherwise, yeah, men are going to stray, man. Men are very, I don't want to say emotional, but physical creatures. And I don't just mean sex, okay? They need to be held and kissed and hold. I know that you guys are like, whatever, but trust me, okay? They do. They need that. They need they need a woman's comfort. It's just, they do. They need it. Maybe every once in a while we'll see a guy who's like not down for that, which, cool, to each their own. But I will say the majority of men, grown men, need some type of physical connection or contact with a woman. Okay, so with that being said, if a marriage is in place because it's helping one of either party, do you just stay in the marriage and then step out to get the physical attention that you're missing? Like I said, I would never condone cheating, especially when you're married. And I feel like if you're to the point where you need to step out and cheat, then you should really just get separated or divorced, you know? But I do understand that there are certain circumstances when, you know, the marriage is helping out the other person. And so a divorce or a separation could really hurt them. And, you know, in that fact, you don't necessarily want to hurt the other person, but you're not getting anything from them. You've talked to them about it. You've tried telling them what you're missing, what you're feeling, and they don't care. They don't care. They just literally want to be left alone. And I know this is real because in my mom group, a lot of the moms will post, you know, about, I don't want to have sex with my husband anymore. It's been years. You know, what's wrong with me? Whatever. And these specific women who post about it apparently want to fix it. You know what I mean? So that's a good sign. But I can't tell you how many women commented, I gave up on sex. I haven't had sex in over 3 years. I'm married. Like, bro, dude, like, I don't understand how you can be in a marriage and go years without having sex when they're like right next to you. How does that happen? It should not be that way. In that case, you know, where the marriage is going to help the other person, that would be the only time that I would condone stepping out of your marriage to get what you're looking for. Because with the way the other partner's acting, apparently they're not going to care because they don't have the time of day to even give you to make you feel better. A relationship is I don't even want to say 50-50. It's 100-100. You have to give 100% in order to receive 100%, okay? And I'm not saying, you know, these guys are neglectful, you know, they don't pay attention, they don't listen. Okay, these guys are good guys who have good hearts. They do love their wives. They do want what's best, but they have their own needs. And if they're not getting it at home, they're gonna start looking elsewhere. And how can you blame them? For reals. That's like you shop at Walmart, okay? So you shop at Walmart and you always buy your favorite hair stuff at Walmart. Okay, the stuff you use for your hair, you're very strict with what you use for your hair. That is what you use for your hair, and you always buy it from Walmart. Okay, until one day you go to Walmart and they're not selling, they don't carry your brand anymore. Okay, but you're loyal to that brand. So you need that hair stuff. That hair stuff is the only thing that works for your hair. And they're not giving it. Walmart doesn't carry it anymore. So you're going to have to go and look somewhere else for it. I don't know if that was a good analogy, but that's just kind of how I see it, you know? If somebody else isn't going to, if the person that you've been going to for years isn't going to give it to you, you know, that's when you got to start looking elsewhere. And it's sad. And like I said, I would recommend more to just separate and leave the marriage. However, if that is not something that you feel like you can do because the marriage is helping the other person and you don't want to necessarily screw them over, you know, you don't want to fuck shit up for them, you know, but you still need to get what you need for yourself to be, you know, mentally and physically happy. You know, you shouldn't be miserable because your spouse is miserable and doesn't want to fix anything, doesn't want to work on anything. You know what I mean? My first thing is counseling. If you can get the other spouse to go to counseling and you guys can work through this, fantastic. But if the other person isn't willing to put in the work to fix it, what other option are they giving you? I work at a bar, you know what I mean? And it's kind of, I don't want to say I'm a psychologist, but I'm also a nice person. I have a lot of, like I've told you guys before, a lot of my customers are, you know, good friends of mine. And, you know, there are a few that I'm really close to and that, you know, I'll talk to about like real life and stuff like that. And, you know, like I said, there's a few guys that I've talked to recently that are having these issues, and I feel for them. You know what I mean? And as a woman, I would never treat my husband that way. I would never, ever treat him that way. You know, if he's feeling like I'm not giving him what he needs, you know, we can talk about it. We can figure out, okay, what am I doing wrong? Maybe there's something that he's doing that's pushing me away. Men are clueless. They don't know. Like, you have to tell them. You have to straight up be honest. You have to tell them, look, I don't like it when you do this. This is not cool. You know, whatever. There are certain reasons. And, you know, if there's women out here watching this right now that is worried, if you were worried about your man stepping out, you wouldn't be ignoring them in the first place. I feel like at this point, like, you're just together because it's easy. Because any woman who cares about her marriage would care about her husband's feelings. And like I said, I'm not talking about guys who just don't even put forth an effort. I'm talking about good guys, you know, who work, make all the money, you know, and put forth an effort to keep things romantic and sweet and, you know, want to be intimate. And the wives just don't respond in any way. And, you know, it's just, it's sad. It's really sad. I just kind of wanted to talk about that. I wanted to bring it up. You know, like I said, if counseling doesn't work, then they're not willing to go to counseling, then by all means, step out. The other thing I want to say is, you know, he was mentioning to me that she has all control of the money. Bro, like, you're a man. You're a man. Put your fucking foot down and be like, this is my money. This is my money. I'll do what I want with my money. Our bills are paid. That's all that should fucking matter. You know what I mean? And maybe, like, for me, I need a man who's, like, I don't want to say demanding, but, like, or controlling, but what's up? Like a boss. You know what I mean? Like, he'll tell you what's up. Like, this is what's happening. You know what I mean? Like, that's how, and it's so sweet that he's not that way. You know what I mean? He's like, he just wants to make her happy. You know what I mean? And that's when you know, like, he is a good guy. He means well, but he's not being treated fair in return. And, you know, like I said, okay, so where I was going with this is, you know, at that point, I understand why men are stepping out, and I understand why he would step out, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him one bit. I really don't. I really don't blame him. I completely understand why he would. And, you know, especially if your kids are grown, I know a lot of people will stay in a relationship because they have kids and whatnot. Like, especially if your kids are grown, you guys have been together for years, and they're not willing to put in the work to keep your marriage working, to keep your marriage alive, then yeah, at that point, it's like, what is the point? You know what I mean? What are we working towards? To just be roommates, living in the same house, but then you take all my fucking money? Like, no. How is that fair? If the roles were reversed and you were the one working all the time and your man was taking all your money and didn't give you a say in shit, you cannot sit here and tell me you wouldn't be fucking pissed. You can't. I'd be pissed. That's pretty much it. So for guys out there that are suffering like this, you know, do you get what you need, for reals. I know it sounds bad. If you've asked to work on it and she's not willing to work on it with you, you've done your piece. You've done what you needed to do. She's not willing to do it. You know what I mean? And if you want to stay married to her because it's just easier for the both of you, then by all means, you know. And if she finds out and has a problem with it, be like, well, look, I tried to come to you. You know, I tried to get you to, you know, work with me on this, and you just completely ignored me, pushed me away. So what do you expect? You know, men have needs, and that's the other thing, women have needs. Like, women, pay attention to your husbands, okay? Make sure that they're good. Make sure that they're getting what they need. You know, if you're not getting what you need, bring that up. Hey, I need this from you. You know, let's work on this. Just be honest. Just be honest. Especially after you guys have been together for so long. I mean, you guys should be able to be honest with each other. So, yeah. That's it. That's my advice. I probably pissed a few people off with this, and I'm sorry. But it is what it is. It's how I feel. So, I appreciate you guys for watching. I hope you guys share this video. Like I said in the beginning, give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.